Good morning, everybody. We have a message we want to share with you here at Thibodaux Regional. We think it's an important one. Dr. Damas, who is the director of our pathology, our laboratory services, physician, MD, is going to share a few details you might find interesting. But basically, there's a blood shortage.
That's correct.
It happens occasionally, doesn't happen all the time, but it runs closer to the edge than you think, right?
These days, it's almost a continuing shortage. It's just the degree of the shortage that goes up and down. I mean, with the number of patients that need blood, we can't ever get enough. And no one can ever really get enough easily. So that's why we do these things, kind of put a little information out and hopefully get everyone interested and involved so we can meet that need for our patients.
But basically, we have a blood drive for next Thursday, January 29th, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on the second floor of administration, classrooms A and B. You can come and give blood at that time. We would strongly encourage you to. I want to just talk a little bit more about the clinical needs. So blood is needed in what circumstances?
A lot of different circumstances. I think people generally think of trauma, car wrecks, accidents, and so they see a lot of blood being used. But a lot of our blood is actually used for people with chronic diseases, cancer patients, not just for their cancer if they have blood cancer, but also some of the therapies that we use these days also can cause people to need blood. So there's a lot of utility for blood throughout our entire system.
Most people kind of know the different types of blood in terms of I have O negative blood, which is universal donor.
We love those, yes.
So, of course, that would be great if we had a lot of O negative blood donors. But you want to talk about that first?
Well, firstly, let me say that people know their blood type, but that's basically two of the blood systems that people are familiar with. They're familiar with the ABO and they're familiar with the RH, right? So you're O negative. There's actually about 50 different blood systems, and that kind of makes blood donation a little complicated, right? And that's why it's not as easy as some people might think, like, oh, we'll bring in a couple of people, give some blood, turn around, give it to somebody else. Any of those 50 things can cause somebody to have a transfusion reaction, so it's a little bit more complicated than that. So on top of that, there's probably 4 different products that can be gotten out of a unit of blood. I don't know that people are aware of that too. They think of basically the red blood cells that people need when they're anemic, but also we get platelets out of blood transfusions. We use the plasma or the liquid that the blood is floating in. That's also transfused. And there's a 4th thing called cryoprecipitate that's also used in kind of a different circumstance. So any unit of blood you donate could potentially benefit 4 people.
Those elements can be used in different situations.
They are used in different situations,
What do you use platelets for?
People who can't clot. So either they have their own low platelets or maybe they had a medication effect or something like that. So that'll stop their bleeding. Just pouring more red blood cells into them wouldn't do any good, right? Because they would continue to ooze and bleed. So we use platelets to try and get them to stop so we don't run through a bunch of our other blood products.
Well, thanks for the information. Dr. Damas, director of our laboratory and pathology services, physician, excellent leader, great communicator in my opinion. And once again, next Thursday, January 29th, from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., you can come and donate blood, which is much needed. The donations will be in classrooms A and B here at administration. Thank you so much.